Well, I've tried and tried again to like it, to love it, to buy into it, but I just gotta say it. Women's soccer is a joke. Well, that opening statement is going to win me no friends and probably lose me the two I currently have. But in all fairness, lend me your ears, come with me. What am I rambling about? Well, I'm going to show you, because this thing has popped up and it is the straw that broke the camel's back, to coin the phrase. The mainstream media for years now has been relentlessly pushing, bludgeoning us all with this idea that not only are women equal to men, which I of course believe wholeheartedly, but that they are the same as men, which is an absolute nonsense. We are absolutely equal, but we are not the same. And that's the beauty of the whole thing. That's what makes it all so wonderful, that we're not the same, thank God. But anyway, they've been relentlessly pushing this narrative, this agenda, that women can basically engage in anything men could historically or whatever do, and they can do it equally well and they're equally adept at doing it. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be felling logs in the Appalachian forests. It could be deep sea diving. Doesn't matter. Rugby, soccer, you name it. Anything that's physical. Arm wrestling, whatever you want. Take your pick. Women are every bit the equal, the same as men. Well, until yesterday, we all knew that simply wasn't true. There are certain things that women are exceptionally good at, that men are crap at. I'm the first to admit that, and I think everybody who is right thinking knows that. There are certain things that men are adept and good at and naturally gifted at, that women just simply aren't as good at. Now, I'm not saying they can't do them, I'm not saying they can't attempt them, and I'm not saying they can't even get reasonably good at them, but they'll never beat the top guys. Just like there's some things that women are really good at that it doesn't matter, and a guy could spend his whole life doing it and he'd never be able to match what a woman can do in that field. Now, of course, we're all used to seeing headlines like this popping up. The FC Dallas under 15 boys high school squad beat the US women's national team in a scrimmage. That's a soccer team, and this US women's team, just after this match, went on to dominate the World Cup, the Women's World Cup. Absolutely ran away with it, destroyed all the other opposition. Best team in the world in terms of women's soccer teams. A bunch of Dallas high school boys ran them off the pitch 5-2. Wasn't even close. Wasn't a penalty shootout. It wasn't even no, I'm sorry. It was just a bloodbath. They just ran them off the pitch. Anyway, that's not where we're going today. I've got more for you. There's more. There's always more. What was the straw that broke the camel's back? I know you're asking. Get on with it, man. Okay, so here is the straw. The very straw that broke the camel's back, and why I just can't. I can't, despite all of the propaganda, despite all of the media hype, despite them bludgeoning me to a pulp, to like it, to love it, to want it, to watch it at every waking hour and every waking moment. Here is from our friends over at the Mail Online, and this is very close to my heart because this is a very close to home story, and it's by Catherine Batt for the Mail Online. Ireland's Women's World Cup warm-up clash with Colombia is abandoned after the game became, quote, overly physical.
You serious?
Overly physical. Soccer. Football. Overly physical. A physical game. A contact sport. Too physical. Too much.
That's what she said.
Now, I'm from the era, the jumpers for goalposts era, where we would kick ball on the road, and after a good old game, if there wasn't at least one child missing a limb, several lads missing teeth, and pools of blood scattered around whatever road or field we were playing in, we reckoned we just hadn't put our heart into it. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. And I'm thinking back to the days, good old days of the mucky fields in the English Division 1, not the Premiership. It wasn't called the Premiership then, it was Division 1, where you had the likes of Johnny Giles and you had Nobby Stiles and all these lads. And physical wasn't the word. This was warrior stuff. This is what we expected. This is what we were used to. And this was a team sport is essentially a clash of two warrior clans. That's what it is. It was a way to keep young men toned, fit, agile and strong and at the top of their game when there was no wars, there was no actual battles to be fought. You put them into the sports arena, they could kind of duke it out there. So physicality was every bit a part of the thing. Anyway, let's go back to our friends. To Catherine here in the Mail Online, because it seems that my own team, the Republic of Ireland women's soccer team, they basically give up after 20 minutes of a game with Colombia, and this is the best, the cream of our women's soccer players here in Ireland, and I assume the cream of the soccer players in Colombia. They said, no, sorry, it's too physical. Somebody, it seems, got a kick on the shins, and that was the end of it. Call it off, stop, blow the whistle, everybody out, it's done, we're all going home.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Anyway, I'm preempting. All right, stop preempting and get on with it, you knob. Right, Ireland and Colombia are preparing, this is from Catherine here in the Mail Online, preparing for the Women's World Cup later this month, which I don't think I'll bother my arse watching. Denise O'Sullivan is the captain of North Carolina Courage and has 100 caps. The Republic of Ireland's warm-up game with Colombia was ended after 20 minutes after the encounter became, quote, overly physical. With one of the Irish players reportedly taken to hospital. It's understood the match was abandoned after a challenge from a Colombia player left Ireland's influential midfielder Denise O'Sullivan with a shin injury. She got a kick in the shin. Wow. Do they not wear shin guards now? Is that not a thing? We didn't have them back in the jumpers for goalpost days, but I thought they had kind of shin guards and all kinds of guards to guard against you getting a kick in the where you wouldn't want to kick, or at least you could survive a kick. Maybe not, I don't know. The Irish players are thought to have collectively decided to end the game following the tackle before completing a full training session. They're training me arse. I'll tell you what the best training is. Getting out there with those Colombian girls and going at it. That's the best training you'll get. That's me as a layman. I'm a lay person, and even I know that. There you go. You know, sometimes lay knowledge is just the basics. It's just the basic knowledge. Anyway, read on. The media had been told beforehand that they would be allowed to watch the behind closed doors match. But it's understood the press were denied entry at the last minute at the request of Colombia. Maybe because they were going out for blood, I don't know. That maybe they decided we might want everybody catching us at this. We're going to go in hard at the Johnny Giles school. Johnny Giles played for Leeds, an Irish lad, and he was a tough cookie. He was a tough lad, fullback, I believe, for Leeds at the height of their power, and he took no prisoners. And there you go, you knew what you were getting. Right, an FAI statement, that's the Football Association of Ireland, read, quote, the behind closed doors game between the Ireland women's national team and Colombia on Friday evening was ended after 20 minutes of play. The game, which was held in Meakin Park, Brisbane, became overly physical, and it was decided following consultation with the match officials to end the game. So sorry, you're kind of, you're being very physical there in a physical sport, in a contact sport. It's far too much contact. Can we have less contact? What was it? Tag rugby? Like, hold on, come on now. If you want to be taken seriously, if you want to play in the big leagues, if you want to be taken, if you want to get the big bucks, I'm sorry, you'll have lumps kicked out of you on occasion. That's rugby, that's soccer, that's hockey, that's all that stuff. You want to do that stuff, that's part of it. And you want to play tag rugby, you want to play this kind of touch rugby, touchy-feely rugby, then go play over there with the touchy-feely people. That's what I say. It used to be that way, but now I think it's all different now. Anyway, let's read on. The quote: the Ireland team then underwent a full training session to continue bollocks to that, I say. Bollocks to it. They were getting a damn good training session from the Colombians, and they said, no, stop, don't you touch me like that. Right, so anyway, they went and had basically a touchy-feely session after that and ran round the ground for a while and kind of played tag rugby or whatever else they did, which was, as I say, if you want the best training you'll get is a tough team. Go in against a tough team. That's the best training you could ever get, because you can survive that and you can win out over that. You can beat anyone. Anyway, the Colombian Federation, what did they have to say? Dirty players, dirty. They were dirty. Cripple them. Yeah, that's what they used to have, lads shouting from the side. Cripple them. Yeah, terrible. There were dark days. We survived, though. We survived. The Colombian Football Federation said, the Colombian Football Federation informs that the friendly match wasn't that friendly, kicking lumps out of them there. That the friendly match that was to take place as part of the day's training between the Colombian women's national team and Ireland was suspended, because the Irish national team, a rival in practice this Friday, preferred not to continue playing when 23 minutes, very exact, 23 minutes of the first half had already lapsed and somebody got a kick in the shin, so it was, call it off, blow the whistle, we're off, we can't do this. Colombia will return to Sydney this Saturday to continue with its preparation, and before the debut in the orbital event, a second friendly training match against its counterpart from China is scheduled. Well, that's going to be interesting. I wonder what the Chinese be up for it. Colombia's dirty team, like the Dublin team, the GAA Dublin team in the 70s, dirty team. They won a lot. Dirty team, though. Kick lumps out of you. Mullins and all them lads. No prisoners taken there. Great muck. Like watching a battle. It was like watching a real-time battle in full swing with a football in the middle of it. Anyway, sorry, I digress. O'Sullivan, the captain of America club North Carolina Courage, is a key player for Vera Pauw's side and has over 100 caps. We knew that from earlier. You're repeating yourself there. Referee Caitlin Williams from Football Queensland showed 2 yellow cards before the late challenge on O'Sullivan. It's not known which players were cautioned because it was behind closed doors. Didn't want anybody seeing it. The Colombian Football Federation informs, although the processes and training of our teams are framed within the rules of the game, healthy competition and fair play among others, where we respect the decision of our rival team. So the Irish girls said, listen, sorry, you're dirty punch play, you're dirty team, you're going for it, you're really kind of shunting us, pushing us and shoving us around the place and kicking us in the shins, so we're taking the ball and going home. Colombia will return to Sydney this Saturday to continue its preparation before, we're against China, and I wonder how that's all going to go. So there you go. I know we have moved on in every possible way from the days of jumpers for goal posts, lads basically knocking each other's teeth out on the road and on whatever field you could find a bit of waste ground somewhere behind somebody's shed, the usual stuff. We've all moved on from that and basically living now in the cotton wool era, where essentially nobody can be chastised. You can't offend anybody in any possible way. You certainly can't be physical. Even in a physical game, if it's deemed too physical, then sorry, that's it. We're out of here. We're taking the ball and we're all going home. A late tackle, you'll see that in any game you've ever watched. Late tackle. It shouldn't happen, but hey, there's a lot of funny stuff that goes on that shouldn't happen, like lads diving on the pitch and rolling over and doing more pirouettes than the ball shy ballet. You'll see all kinds of stuff in a game, but that's the game. It's physical. There's a bit of acting, there's a bit of bravado, there's a bit of name calling, a bit of ribbon, there's a bit of this, that's it. It's a battle. It's a battle. So if you want to play at the highest level, all I'm saying is be the warrior. Be up for the battle. Not only be up for it, win it. And win it well.